What's up, Dave? My mic working? Mic check, mic check. Make sure everything's working right. How's everybody doing? Morning, guys. Questions, tickers, throw them in the comment box. We'll get started here inside of 2 minutes. Can't hear me perfectly. Mic's good on YouTube. How's my mic on Instagram? Oh, you can hear us. Okay, great. Man, I gotta check because it seems like every day something doesn't work right. I don't speak American Sign Language, so I rely on audio. So, again, questions, ticker, some in the comment box. We'll start here inside of 30 to 45 seconds, guys. I'm broadcasting on both YouTube if you prefer the horizontal format, and then on Instagram. So whatever's easiest for you. What's up, folks on YouTube? Got you both up. So questions and tickers, guys, you guys can put it in the comment box. And we'll get started. All right, guys. Good morning. Happy 12/16. What is this? Tuesday in December. As we wind down the month, we expect volume in the markets actually to start dropping off. And there's a war between bad data and a Santa Claus rally. So recent figures in gold and silver means gold and metal should run up. That's what that means, swordfish. So non-farm payroll, unemployment rate come out, was hot. That's gonna be bad for the dollar, good for metals in general, right? We can see movement both directions, but that's the implications. That was an ugly report that came out. Yeah, I think the fat lady's starting to warm up here. I think the party's going to be over within on these in the indices in the markets within the next 30 days. So start protecting positions. All the writing's on the wall. We're going to have a repeat of 2022. Remember 2022? Yeah. All right. So let's talk about ES. Excuse me. ES, MES, these are H26 contracts we rolled over at the beginning of this week with a 65-point rollover. Open price 68.83. High a day 68.86, low a day 68.32. Resistance at high day and 69.50. Support at low a day and 68.00. The bias is long above 68.54. But I got something interesting here. Gold is running right now, guys. Hopefully my traders bought that after data. I did. Anyway, bias is long above this, but here's the interesting thing that I'm seeing. In my war room, guys, right? I mark everything out for everybody, key levels. We have my proprietary momentum indicator, which isn't wrong. Look how momentum's dying here. This is technically the primary read long. With that bad data, the indices should be crushed. We're close to bias. This is the PC data view. I think if these VWAPs collapse, I think that's going to be the short. So my traders watch that. 68.60 for the short. I don't know. We had this spike up after data. I don't know what that was. Maybe closing of positions, but that was very weird that the indices want to run on bad data. But mean reversion levels are 7,000 if we see it. I've said for a long time I will short the ever-living shit out of 7,000. Put your questions and tickers in the comment box. I'll get to them here shortly. RTY M2K, that's the Russell 2000, folks. Let's make this more viewable. There you go. So bias is that white line. Open price was 25.55, was also the high a day. Low day 25.35, resistance at high a day in 2600 if we see it again. Don't think we see it again. Support at low a day in 25.10. The bias is short below 25.52. So we're looking for shorts right here. your next short opportunity is coming in right here, 25.50. And then you'll be on the right side of the trade through this VWAP. Look right here. My momentum says it's dying. You get a red indicator through that, you're going to short all day long. Be in my war room to catch that. Gold. Talk about gold. Everybody wants to talk about metals, right? Of course, love trading it. Don't like trading silver right now. I stay the hell out of silver. I own a lot of physical silver. I've traded thousands and thousands of contracts in silver, but not over the last 4 or 5 months. So for XAU, the underlying, you're going to subtract 29 from my numbers. Welcome, guys. Questions, tickers, throw them in the comment box. Open price 43.34, high a day 43.46, low a day 42.97. I told everybody to buy futures in around 4,300. That's what I said yesterday, if we dropped it. So not only do we look for trades at my New York Open, but I leave my traders with marching orders and key levels to watch throughout the day. And I said that 4,300 zone probably wouldn't break intraday, and it did not for the futures product, right? Anyway, support low a day in 42.90. The spot on the diamond. Bias was short below 43.23, and we're flipping bias. So your next long opportunity has to be on a retracement. This was a plus setup right here. If you zoomed in on 1 minute, we talk about that in my trading war room. Once it explodes, you got to gear down. So look what we got here. After data, not only did we get, or just prior to data, we got the momentum spike. So it front ran it, spiked up, pulled back. This was a second read when we zoom in, and now it's going to continue upward. We're probably going to see a test the all-time high today, guys. It will not break the all-time high the first time. Write that shit down. All right. Anyhow. So there you go. There's gold. Buy any retracement, and if it continues to run, we're gonna have to look for second reads. We may be able to foster our second reads past 5 points for my traders. 5 points is a good damn day if you're on leverage. Silver, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you come to my war room. I teach this to you. I explain it to you. When we have downtime, I do charts, I do education. It's well worth your time and money invested, folks. All right. I see you guys throwing questions in here. I'll get to them in a second. Silver, stay with me. Silver for XAG, subtract 3 cents. We're heading to backwardation, meaning when you got to start adding. So the spot is higher than futures prices. It's called backwardation, and that means that implies extreme demand on the metal, which is starting to happen. We'll see. So if you watched my video on the internet where I talked about on the hourly, it was setting up a bear flag, and then I talked about its invalidation. A lot of people thought I was wrong. Absolutely, I was 100% correct. It was a bear flag, and it validated. I talked about both scenarios, either in the video and or the description. So it invalidated the bear flag. The buyers said, no, we're not dropping further. Simply trying to identify discount buys for my swing traders in silver. So open price 64.11, high a day 64.26, low a day 62.11, resistance at high a day in 65, support at low a day in 60. The bias was short below 63.25. We're flipping bias, so we're long traders now, and our next opportunity is going to be about 63.48 to 50, and the daily's long. Mean inversions are 60 and 70, very wide because the beta is just absolutely ridiculous. Platinum just makes me angry because I'm very good at swing trading this, and I was long. I told you guys 1700, and I had that 35.1 minute candle that kicked me out of my trade because I was trying to continue to ride this up. This would be massive money right now. So give me 1 second. Pull my report back up. My phone just crashed, so that makes it difficult. But I do have a backup report. Stand by, so I can give you my numbers. I'm going to go to my Discord because the benefit of being in my Discord is you get this full report. All right, so where was I? Platinum for XPT, the underlier, subtract 10. Open price 18.14, high day 18.62, low day 18.03, resistance at high day in 18.90, support at low day in 17.80. The bias is long above 18.30. Right, I mean, just the bias. The white line indicates bias. Our next buy opportunity is up here. Looks like your Look at this buy opportunity in the 1800 diamond. Next buy opportunity is going to be, because I swing trade this, so I trade a little bit different. I want to look at discount near the VWAP and or 1800. I would contend that this thing is just going to keep running ultimately because it has not seen an all-time high. These are only 25-year highs. This thing could see $2,600. Like, it will. Not today, not tomorrow, but it's gonna chop up. That's why I love taking long swings on discounts. And again, the underlier is you're gonna subtract 10. The 9-1 oscillators are neutral at 13 and 0. We'll talk about them when they're important. VIX is at 16, and I'm willing to bet. I don't have a VIX chart up right here. I'm willing to bet that it's climbed off that data. As we approach into 20 on VIX, that is a 30-day synthetic of the S&P 500 is known as a fear index. If it climbs above 20, that is selling. Climbs above 30, it's massive panic. If it gets higher than that, you can expect a crash. So it's a great indicator to watch. We watch tick, we watch VIX. We have a number of indicators, and I teach them all in my war room. Why not spend $199 a month to learn how to do this? All right, swing trades. Talk about it quick, and then I see you guys have tickers, and then we'll get to them. Tesla is 472. I'm sure these have dropped a little bit since I did my report. Nvidia is 177. BBAI is in the buy zone at 596. QBTS is at 2381. You have support at 21. My stop loss is like 1896. Bitcoin looking like shit at 87.3. Ethereum at 29.55. The bull run's done, guys. If you're in crypto, get the hell out. Lock in your profits. Get out. Buy the dip when it drops. Way too many signals that bull run is done. And not only am I saying that in the technical side, my crypto experts are also saying it. All right. So, guys, if you want to learn this, join my war room. Buy my course. Money back guarantee. I constantly say it. Welcome to our new members. You guys are doing well. As if you join, you will also. I'm there to help, guys. All right. Let me get your questions. We have some time here. Excellent. Let's see. Let me check over my YouTube world. What's up, guys? Looking good over there. Scrolling up, let me scroll through. Guys, listen, you consistently be here will be of benefit. You know, I say a lot of things that may not make sense, but the more you're here and you hear the cadence, the more you'll understand, and then certainly you can take that to my war room and understand further. So stay consistent. You know, it's like learning a language, right? First time you're immersed in a foreign language, you don't understand it. Thanks for the mic check update there, guys. I got to check it every time because it says it's working on my end, but it doesn't mean you necessarily hear it. We talked about XAU USD, but let me bring it up in here for you. Zakir. Is that how you say it? Zakir Hussain. We interact a lot. I just want to make sure I'm saying your name correctly. Okay, let's look. Intraday. So your next buy opportunity intraday is going to be 4,300. I would buy this if it taps in around 4,300, comes close. So I'm going to say 43, anywhere from 42.90 to 43.10 or 15. Buy the discount in there. Put your stop loss down here. We're heading to 44. We're heading to the all-time high. So there you go. And that's an intraday buy. I would probably take profit at 4,400 and then rebuy the dip. That's me. If you want to swing it, you're going to have to endure drawdown, maybe even back to 4,300. In other words, when it hits 4,400, it could retrace $100. That's not a sell-off. But you got to decide, do I take profit and then buy the dip again? So, swordfish, we explained that the weakened dollar means metals are going to run. They have what is known as a negative Pearson correlation between the two. When one rises, the other drops, and vice versa. Should we sell our AI stock? Listen, I like AI thesis. There's a lot of bubble talkers out there, and a lot of these have ran on hopiism and not a lot of incoming money because they're burning cash in order to build the infrastructure. But there's no doubt AI is going to be the future. So could we have a flash crash? Yeah. So what you need to do in your AI stocks is just put protective positions in. As an example, let's look at BBAI. They're all going to be the same. So I'll talk about BBAI in my position here in BBAI. So I own it at $5.50. Okay, right where this green line is. I own a lot of it at $5.50. I had bought it, sold it up here, took profits, waited for it to drop, bought confirmation, and I'm in it a second time. I made like 25% the first time. And my stop loss, you can see I've got it on my chart, is at $3.99. So I'm risking $1.51 per share to try to stay in this long term. I have not fully allocated. I'm about 75% into this trade. I saved one allocation in case we drop. My next allocation will be at the bottom of this box to this orange line. So I'm willing to buy if we get a drop somewhere between $4.65 to $5. I'll add one more allocation, increasing my size, but I will not change my stop loss. Right, that'll lower my DCA, and I could get kicked out if this drops. I think there's a lot of support down here, so I'm hiding behind that $4 amount because I want to stay in the trade. But you need to do this for all of your trades in case the markets just go to shit. You do not want to own this at $5.50 and write it down to 50 cents. This as an example, right? It's the same conversation with QBTS. I own QBTS. I'm doing the same thing in it, right? So again, if you're in a position, and I like my video froze on Instagram, but you can still hear me. I don't know why my video keeps freezing. But if you're in a position and you have questions about stop losses, go to my free Discord, tag me in there, and we'll talk about it. Or if you're in one of my groups, ask me about it. All right, I know my videos froze on both YouTube and Instagram now. So, but that's fine. You can see my charts. I can answer the questions. Let's look at other questions you guys have. So that's selling AI stocks. Parts Finder. Should we put a stop sale order in around 95? On which instrument, Parts Finder? I'm not sure what I was talking about when you asked that question. Let me know the instrument you're asking about on that. Alex Wall, why am I not touching silver? Because I am an intraday trader. That's a good question. I think silver is a great swing buy, but I trade on leverage, and I'm an intraday trader on it. And I do own a lot of physical silver. So to say that I don't touch it isn't true. I just don't touch it in my futures trades because the leverage and the beta, which means the volatility, is extremely high. As an example, let's look at this drop right here. This drop right here, this occurred. I have it on the hourly chart, but I remember we dropped $4 in about 15 minutes, right? It would in a normal environment with silver, that would take 3 weeks to move that much, right? So it's just extremely difficult. Now I have some guys that are still trading it and are doing well. I just personally don't like the volatility. The best way to trade it is to down leverage and widen. However, it's one of the benefits of being my trading war room. We trade multiple instruments and we find the one that's best. Right now, I think gold's movement is better than silver's or safer. RTY, ES. And it's crazy that I would say that RTY is better movement. So that's why. And I teach this in my war room too. So yeah, thanks for the endorsement there, Darren. Good to see you on. Says the war room's really good. Let's see here, scrolling down. All right, guys. So listen, in pre-market volume leaders, I don't have one again. This is the second day in a row. I do not have a pre-market volume leader for a scalp. It just looks like trash. This might be indicative of volume starting to drop in the overall markets. I went through about the top 25. I looked at 10 of them. The only one that was really moving to the percentage of movement that I like, the catalyst didn't make sense for it because it was a restructuring and changing of a ticker. So I'm not going to trade that. But again, I know my videos froze. No idea why I did that because I rebooted the whole system before. I'll get with my administrator and see if I can get this fixed so you guys can see my shiny face moving around. But guys, listen, I'm here every Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. I interact in my groups, in my Discord. Links in the bio, guys. Come bet on yourself. Jump in my Discord. 7-day free trial. You won't regret it. If you're not making money, you're definitely learning, right? So, all right. You guys have a good one. I'll be back tomorrow. Links are in the bio.